RxMuscle.com. In the Iron Asylum with Sean Harris and Tony Puccio. We are here less than 1 week out from the 2014 NPC Team Universe. We are here training chest and arms at Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym in Syosset, New York. Welcome, guys.
How you doing, Dave?
How you doing, Dave?
Sean, you've been out of the game for a couple of years now. Took a little bit of time off. You were a top 5 finisher at the USA Championships a few years ago. You're going to be doing the NPC Team Universe this weekend in the Masters 35-plus category, trying to get that pro card you've been trying so hard for over the last, I guess you could say, probably 10 to 15 years. Talk to me a little bit about where you've been.
Yeah, I took about 3.5 years off from competing. Just had some personal issues to deal with. Sometimes life just gets in the way. So once I had the opportunity, I refocused myself and figured I'd give the Team Universe a shot this year.
Now, I got to tell you, I'm not just saying this because we're talking on the interview here, but you look better than you did 3.5 years ago, and I don't know if you spent a lot of time just working on your physique, but you actually have a better look, it seems.
Well, even though I didn't compete for the 3.5 years, I was in the gym 5 days a week, training heavy, training hard, eating. I just couldn't really focus on competition. So I would say, but, my goal was to come in about 10 pounds heavier than I did in 2010 and harder, which I think I did accomplish this time around. So we'll see what happens this weekend.
Do you find it amazing that, at the age of over 35 years, that you're able to still add muscle, quality muscle that is, and make improvements?
It's funny because, after not dieting for 3.5 years, once the diet kicked in, I seem to have gotten harder faster and just retain more weight easier. I guess that would, I could attribute that to muscle maturity.
Now, let me ask Tony, my good friend, with the biggest arms in the world. I know you like that when I tell you that. You're obviously off-season here. You're going to be getting ready to start dieting pretty soon. Talk to me about what's been going on in your life and what's next for you.
Well, it's been 5 years since I made that first video for my first, my comeback with your help. And with, the last 5 years I competed in the Atlantic States, I did the Elite Classic, and I just did the Eastern States and the East Coast. I placed 6th in the first show I came back, and then we did the Elite Classic in North Carolina. I placed 3rd in the Masters over 35, and I placed 4th in the Open. And then we did the East Coast, and I won my class in the 45 and over. And then we did the Eastern States, which I came in 6th in the men's Masters 40 to 50, which I want to add. I'm at the end of the class. I'm 48 years.
How much weight you lost, though, Tony? That's the most.
Total weight loss is 154 pounds, and I think now my skin is ready at the time right now to just. I should be peaking next year. Right. I should be ready next year. 49, I should be doing some damage, I hope.
50 years old, you're finally peaking,
and I'm growing. I'm growing still, I had Sean watch me last year. He was amazed at what I was able to do with the diet and everything. The only thing is that we came on late for the Eastern States, and I had to eat 10 times, but I think I could have did better.
Yeah. Sean, talk to me a little bit about, the mental state now. I mean, in the past, you were going for the USA Nationals. You're over 35 now. In your mind, is it less than spectacular to win the Masters event and get your pro card? Would you have rather done the USA? I know you're doing the Team Universe because it's in your backyard. Or do you not care at this point because you're over 35, you just want the pro card?
I wouldn't say that I don't care. To win the pro card at the USA's, is definitely more prestigious. But to be honest with you, at this point, I thought the Team Universe would be a great opportunity for me to give it a good run and have a really good shot to earn that pro card. And if not, I also, I had the USA's and North Americans following to also give it a shot. So,
speaking of the North American, this year at the North American, they have a Masters Pro Show the day before the North American amateur event starts. For all guys who have won Masters events and gotten their pro card there. Obviously, if you get your pro card at the Team Universe here, that would give you the ability to qualify for that event. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing?
Possibly. I cross one bridge at a time. I just really want to stay focused the next couple of days, and try and bring in my physique as best I can for this weekend. But back to what you asked before, it's funny because I find a lot now Masters competitors are better than some of the younger guys coming up.
No, that's definite.
A lot of the younger guys coming up now, with the physique category getting as big as it's gotten, a lot of the bodybuilders left are old school bodybuilders.
Do you think what's happening to women's bodybuilding with the replacement of women's physique kind of taking over is going to happen to men's bodybuilding to a certain degree, where a lot of the good talent, the upcoming young talent, is going to go to the men's physique division as opposed to the bodybuilding division?
I think it's happening already. There are a lot of good physique competitors out there who have phenomenal structures who would make phenomenal bodybuilders. So I think that transition has started, and I think the sport's definitely changing.
Talk to me after being in your later 30s. How does it feel joint and connective tissue wise? Do you feel like you recover as well as you did when you were younger, or are you feeling injured and you have things that you have to work around?
I'll be honest with you. At 38 years old, my joints feel great for the most part. I really don't have any tendon issues or joint issues, more so than I've had in the past. That's really not the issue. I mean, I don't train quite as heavy as I used to, and it's not so much because I can't. It's because I don't know if I feel the need anymore. Volume training, I think, speaks a lot for my physique at this point. So, I combine everything.
Tony, what do you think works best for you at your age? You're hitting obviously the 50 mark. Are you still doing heavy movements, or are you sticking more with higher reps, or combining both?
Dave, I'm 48. Thank heaven I haven't been really badly injured in 32 years. I'm still trying to lift heavy. I'm still lifting heavy, quite heavy.
Sean, you're a school teacher, and granted you have the summers off now, so that's helpful. But during the year, is it hard to find the time to train and eat your meals between periods and all that kind of stuff?
I don't find it hard to find time to train and eat the meals. I teach in Brooklyn. I live in Long Island, so the commute was a little bit rough this year. My wife, she's very flexible, and she understands what goes into it, so it helps.
I know your diet has changed over the years and evolved. What seems to be working best for you now? What kind of a macro breakdown have you been following for this prep?
Believe it or not, coming into this diet, I'm eating more carbs. Coming into this show, I'm eating more carbs than I've ever had in the past. My carbs have never dropped below 300 grams a day. And most of it comes from oatmeal for breakfast, and the rest is pretty much white rice meals. And at 300 carbs a day, I've done shows where I've been on a lot less. I feel worse, and I've gotten leaner on the 300 carbs than I have for previous shows.
Do you think it's because you have more muscle this time around that you're requiring more calories?
I think it's more muscle. I think it's more muscle maturity. I also stepped up the cardio sooner, so I can keep my calories a little higher, my carbs. Yeah, I work well with carbs, so I tried to kind of run with that this year. For the 2010 USAs, after I had won the Atlantic States, one of the mistakes I made was cutting carbs instead of feeding my body.
Right.
And it flattened me out for the USAs, and I'm trying to avoid that same mistake this time around.
Your trouble area has always been like the conditioning from behind. Have you found a way to work around that and bring in the glutes and everything?
Yeah, my hamstrings and glutes are definitely going to be harder than they've ever been before. So it's and like I said, on more carbs too. So hopefully when I dry out, Friday and Saturday, everything is just where it needs to be.
Well, you look great. You look huge. And I have to think that you're going to do really well going into this Team Universe this Friday and Saturday in Teaneck, New Jersey. For now, though, we're out of time. don't forget, catch all the coverage of the NPC Team Universe on RxMuscle.com all weekend long. I want to thank you, Sean. I want to thank you, Tony, and best of luck this weekend.